Hi everybody, this is GirlsGuide2technology. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about files and folders on Windows 8. And the same applies for Windows 10 and Windows 7. So first, to get to your files and folders easily from your desktop, you are going to click on this icon right here. This is the File Explorer. It opens up this box. And from here, this is your main navigation. You can see all your different drives, your hard drives, CD drives. I have Carbonite. It's the same list as over here. You can see your documents, desktops, downloads. So now we're going to go into documents. And a few of these, the captures, what you see are the recordings that I've done over the last couple of seconds. Now, just to note, the orange dot, don't worry about that. That is Carbonite backing up my system, which is a good thing. So I've already placed a test document in here, and you notice there are these little arrows. So if you click the arrow, it'll show you the folders. The yellow are folders. So to create a new folder, we can do one of two things. We could go over to up here on this menu, and this icon is new folder. Now, don't be afraid to just hover your mouse over these three things without clicking. If you just roll your mouse on top of it, it actually shows you the name. Not this one, because the first one is the folder you're in. So that's documents. The next one is properties. So if you wanted to see the properties of the folder, you click that, and that's where you can get general information. Tells you how big it is, how many files and folders are contained, read only, and hidden. Sometimes Windows has hidden windows. So if you wanted to unhide them, you could click that button. And then there's advanced. These tell you about advanced archiving, compressing, and encrypting. So that's for extra levels of security. Most of the time we don't really play in this area, but I just wanted to show you. So then you have sharing. If I was on a home group with another computer in the house, I could share this file so that they can see that. The files, the folders, all of that. Then you have security. And again, typically we don't play with any of this, but if you're going through it, you can see. You have locations. This is the path of the folder. And then you can customize it if you wanted to. And Carbonite. But we're not backing up Carbonite. So I just unchecked that. And I'm going to hit apply. And it's going to ask me, yes, I don't want to. And then okay. So then new folder. So I click on that and see how it turns blue. When it's blue, you can just start typing. You can hit delete, or you can immediately start typing. It's your choice when it's blue. If it's not blue like that, if you click inside the folder, then you actually have to delete it. Test folder. There we go. And then I just hit enter on the keyboard, and it makes the folder. There's no limit on how many folders you can make. You can do several. And I recommend organizing and creating new folders. So now that sometimes you go in and you have 2, 3, 4, that just lets you know that it's a duplicate. Whenever there's a duplicate of the same exact name, it will put this number on there. So to change it, we just click on the folder, and again, you can right click. Remember, right click for menu, and it gives you all these options. Down here I can rename, or I can delete, and we'll get into the create shortcut and the send to in a second. But if you don't want to right click, you can just if you just precariously click inside the name, it'll turn blue. And then you can type. Now, if you click over here more on the icon, it won't do anything. And then if you double click, obviously, it does open the folder. So click on the name, it'll turn blue, and then you can just type however you want. Now there's some features up here. You see how it says name, date modified, type, and size? So I typically like to sort either by date or name or type, depending on what I'm looking for. These are MP4s. You can see right there, this is a video. These are file folders, and these are capture MRK, which means this is a format for the program that I'm actually using to record this video. And then these are Word documents. And all of these, if you see my mouse, I move my mouse over right into the line area over here. If you can move, you can actually click, you left click and hold, and you can drag them out. So if the name is too long, if it's all scrunched up like this, you can actually just make it larger so you can see what's going on. The same thing up here, you have these icons. This one is a maximize, and then this one is the close. So we can maximize the screen. Okay, so to minimize it, this one makes it go away, but it's still, see how it's still glowing down here? That means that these two programs are running in the background. So you just click on it and it brings it back. And then to make it just a little smaller, you can just click this middle button, which is maximize, and then minimize. And then also, you can also use your mouse around the corners and left click and drag them around. You can also drag them around on here. And like that. And then all of these boxes you can open and close. Open. And then also there's, so I was saying you can click on the name and it'll sort them alphabetically, top to bottom, or then bottom to top. You can click on date modified and sort it by date. And then the arrow gives you, you can actually pick a day, which I like. Type, you can do the same thing. Whatever's in here, you can sort by. So it'll only show you those types of documents, which is a great feature. Okay, so now we go to Home, and Home will pull down this menu and give you all kinds of options. Create a new folder. You can do your properties. You can select all, have an invert selection. So if I select all, it selects all those folders. Another way to select all those folders is to left click and drag, and a box will come up. Left click, drag up, and a box will select them. If you only wanted to select a few, if I wanted to select this whole list, I could click on that one till it's blue, press and hold the shift key on your computer, click on the last one, and it selects them all. Click outside the box and it deselects. Now if I wanted to select a few, say I just wanted to select, I don't know, test 2 and capture 1. I would click on, remember, 1 click to select. 2 clicks will open. Double click will open it. So I click on that one and then I press and hold the control button. And what that does is it allows me to select different files and folders in any order. See that? So I click 1, press and hold the control button, and then click other folders to select different folders. So let's see. Now we have the share up here. You can burn it to a disk if you wanted to burn certain folders. And then I don't have anything selected, so if I select, let's see, new folder, select, and then share, I could zip it, I could email it. When I click email, it's going to bring up Outlook, which I don't have set up. So it's gonna default to Outlook. So zip it, fax it, print it if the printer is selected. And then you have your different home groups. So I can share with my different home groups, and then I can stop sharing. Also, if I right click, I can get to properties, and I can also get to sharing. We'll talk about sharing another time. So now view. View is fun. So you can have, but you can change the whole look of this if you want to. It's completely up to you. Here you have the navigation pane, which is this one. This is your navigation, and this is also part of it. But you can also add a preview pane and a details pane. So if I clicked on preview pane, so now see it came up, no preview available. So if I want to go to test, it doesn't really show me. There we go. See, that's kind of that's in the document. If I open it, it was just a test document, but that's what it said. So it kind of gives you a preview of what's in it. And if I had a picture in here, it would also show me an image of the picture. Capture, same thing. It's going to show you, this is the video, a video I started before. So it'll show you a preview. And then, so back to view, I can uncheck that and then view details. Now it'll tell you the details. It'll show you a little mini and then tell you exactly information you might need, when it was created, when it was modified, frame rate, if you need to know all that stuff. So test also the document. And on your documents, you can actually add a title, tags, categories. So sometimes for quick access, you can use that was the details pane to modify information about your documents, if you wanted to do that. Another thing about view is all of these. You can do extra large icons, small icons, tiles, content, list, large icons, medium icons, and details. I usually stick to details because I like to go in and sort them. And when you're in the, let's say, small icons, it's more difficult to sort by date. So I pretty much stick to details. If you notice down here in the corner, there's also quick access. You can change, you can just click these. Actually, it just tells you, you could have a choice, pictures or what you were at, details. Also in this box, it tells you how many items are in here and then what's selected. I have one selected. So also you can sort by, you can change this. You can choose your columns and you can sort by date modified type. So it is the same thing if you were in a list icon, a list, you'd have to go up to view and then sort by, right now it's sorted by name. You could also group them by different things. And then you have item checkboxes if you wanted. So when you clicked on it, it showed you a checkbox. You could see the file extensions, only it really only shows up in content. And you can click hidden items, which there is one temp file in here that was hidden. So they hide items so you don't delete them by mistake. It's actually a safety feature for Windows users. So if you're like in your C drive, right, and then you're in Windows, there are files and folders that, see, like, you know, these are grayed out. Some of these are grayed out. Those are the hidden folders. And then we unhide them. So, okay, back to documents. So let's create, we have a folder. We created a bunch of new folders. And let's say we created a document. We're in Word. And we'll create another document. Yes, I need to activate my Word. And then we want to do save as. On the latest version of Windows, you get these choices. You can add a place. We just choose computer and choose browse. And it pulls up the same type of box. And with this, you can change wherever you want. So we'll put it in this. We'll just put it in the documents. It shows you right here at the top. You're in the documents folder. And we'll change it to test doc 2. And I just like to hit the enter while I'm on the keyboard. I'm always on the keyboard. So I use enter a lot, and there it is. But then we don't really want it there. We want to move it. So we left click on it, single click, and then we can drag it. Drag, and it'll see how it comes up, move to. So we'll put it in there, move to new folder 3. And it's going to give me an error because guess what? I'm still in it. So we have to close it. We have to close in order for it to move. It won't move if you're still working on it, which is good. So now it's in, where do we put it? Is it in new folder? No. Go back to documents, new folder 3. There we go. There's our test document. So if you notice, there's no folders here. We're already inside new folder 3, and really we don't want it there. But see, on the side here on the left, it shows you your documents. See, these little arrows can be opened and closed. So if they're closed, you won't see it. You'll just see this list. So we can open it by pressing the arrow and then in documents. And then where do we want to put it? Let's put it in test 2. So same concept, left click and drag it into test 2. Or you can actually right click on it and you can send to and then documents, but it'll put it right in the documents folder. So it's easier actually just to drag it. So we're going to drag it down into test 2. And we're still in new folder. So we go into test 2 and there's our document. So left click and you can move it anywhere you want. So favorites is a fun concept that Windows had. Right now it shows you these are what Windows thinks your favorites are. And you can keep those or you can get rid of them. So again, right click on them and you can say remove and it will remove it from the favorites list. Now let's say this test 2, you're going to be putting a lot of stuff in all the time. So same concept, we're going to move it up into favorites. So we're going to left click, hold on it, and move it. And see, it tells you, create a link in favorites. Create a link in favorites. See, and then there's the black line, and we'll just let go. Now our test 2 folder is in favorites. And you can actually do that with documents if you want to move them into different folders. You can't create a document in favorites. It won't allow you. You can only move them into the folder. So let's put test 3. So we're going to left click and move up and drop it right there under test 2. Or maybe we want it on top. So we can move it there and let go. Now you have to be careful because you can actually move it inside the folder. So now in test 3 is the shortcut for test 2. And how do I know it's a shortcut? See the little arrow right there? That tells me it's a shortcut. So we're going to move it back out and create a link right there. Now what if I wanted this folder to show on my desktop? I use this feature a lot and I love it. So right click on it and send to desktop, create a shortcut. Now this folder, I didn't move the whole entire folder onto the desktop. I just created a shortcut. So the folder test 2, if you see the path, this shows you the path up here. It's on this PC in documents test 2 folder. It's still there and it's a shortcut. So if this is closed, I can still access this folder on my desktop and it shows me the documents. So if we want to move pictures, we can move pictures up into favorites so you know exactly where your pictures are at all times. You can do the same with music, any folders you create. Now, if I don't want this shortcut on here anymore, I can actually delete it. And it does not delete the folder, just the shortcut. See, the folder's still there. It's still under documents. But if I did want to delete the entire folder, all I would do is highlight the folder with a single click, and then I could right click and choose delete, or I could choose delete on my keyboard. And it just deleted it. So inside your recycle bin, you can double click on your recycle bin to open it, and it shows you all the stuff that's in there. And then if you wanted to empty your recycle bin, you could be in it, and you could go to manage and empty, or you could just simply right click and empty recycle bin. And it will ask you, are you sure you want to permanently delete? Yes. And there we go. Now nothing's in my, you can tell it's empty box. I love how that looks. So let's see. You have all these other features in here. We'll get to those in another lesson, but you can copy, you can cut, you can paste. So I can copy this test 2 and I can put it on the desktop also. I can either paste a shortcut. All I did was right click on the desktop and paste a shortcut, or paste the entire folder. But it does a shortcut. Same thing. Does a shortcut. And there's my document. Same thing about deleting documents. If I wanted to just delete the document and leave the folder alone, I just press delete on my keyboard and it's gone. And see how the recycle bin now has stuff in it? If I wanted to restore something from the recycle bin, just right click and restore it, and it puts it back right where it was. So until you empty the recycle bin, it's not ever really deleted. All right, that concludes our lesson of files and folders. I hope you enjoyed this. Allison Ronas, Girls Guide to Technology. Thank you for playing. Have a great day.